Critical update for Bitcoin. This is London. Look at this. Brand new information for the market on Bitcoin. Currently at 44,000. Level of resistance hit. Level of support. Cross trend line carrying up to a brand new level of resistance. Let's talk about this line and two bullish features and one warning for Bitcoin. First of all, I want to remind you, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. This is London, former financial professional, Harvard Business School, Duke University, certified in markets, not financial advice. You guys know that. Join our top level of membership, VIP. We caught a lot of these moves in the back and not all of them, guys. Let's discuss. First of all, you need to be prepared. I want you to try just bring this to your attention, this prior resistance to support function here. What tipped me off on the hourly, I saw it as like, well, we have a bit of an angle going on here. This angle, I knew something was going on here. Certainly, either a prior support or resistance, something was going on. And definitely, it looks like we have encapsulated this prior cross trend line defined by the resistance to the support hit. We need to be prepared to operate in along this line. We need to bust through this line, guys. It's a level of active resistance. Now, in terms of this preceding zone here, yes, it was an inverse head and shoulders on the candle wicks, differentiated a bit. But that inverse head and shoulders also, yes, it was. I'm bringing up these patterns for a reason. Please pay attention. VIP, please pay attention. In terms of this specific bull flag, the other specific formulation that this was potentially an ascending triangle. I'll dig into the details tonight in stream, but anytime we have a flat top resistance across the top and an ascending line of support, that ascending line of support would be in line with something along the lines of that. I can tighten this up just a bit, but as we would discuss this specific, I'd say, variation or interpretation of this ascending, anytime we have a flat top resistance, is critically important because any prior level of resistance, I always say to the VIP, show me a prior level of resistance, I'll show you orders to reconfirm it as support. All right, so hugely important when we would talk about the possibility of price returning to the prior level of resistance. I want all of you to be prepared to operate at this potentially lower level, both on the lines and on the candle wicks. Okay, this just occurred. I mentioned it during this specific phase, not to be overly bearish, but anytime you have a return to prior resistance, it's one of the most basic things in the market. So if you miss it, you're missing one of the most basic functionings of the market. This occurred here. And I had notified the VIP, I notified the subscribers, etc., but not maybe in point blank warning, right? You may have a return to prior resistance. So I'm going to notify you now, just warning. And when it was up here, once we had completed this ascending triangle, no one was thinking it was going back down, right? So we want to notify you now in the form of a warning that potentially we could retest prior resistance, at least to reconfirm as support. So as we would talk about, so I'd say a contraindication or something a bit more bullish, we would go through the overall framework that's been established now on the 4 hourly and on the daily, as we have established, I think, the best interpretation after going through patterns significantly over the past 24 to 48 hours. The best pattern in the interest of the bulls right now, okay, is going to be this ascending triangle. The most immediately pertinent is this ascending triangle. We have a flat top resistance. Now, this is where the complication comes in. Yes, we need to break out up and above this ascending triangle. They're very bullish by nature. Okay, we failed a few in the last 100 or so days. We have failed a few of these. It would get us up beyond that 50% retracement. The 54,359 on the extensions. Now, in terms of the completion, that amplitude would be expected to carry up. What I will say is this: the notion that we have the internalized potential ascending triangle framework here, and let me just get back to that, it would really act as I'd say a contrary indication of the overall, and maybe it wouldn't, guys, maybe it wouldn't. Let's discuss this very briefly. We're 4 minutes into this. Give me another few minutes. Maybe it wouldn't be contradictory to state that we would potentially still continue to operate within, okay, that we would continue to operate within the structured ascending triangle framework on this, let's say the macro and these micros, okay? It would just mean that we would have some additionally included behavior along a potential line of support. So it wouldn't necessarily discount, or it wouldn't contradict the overall bullish expression, we could still be in a bullish expression here in the framework of this macro ascending triangle, ascending line of support, flat top. Okay, but we may just be prepared for this. I'll just say this: be prepared. If you trade Bitcoin a lot, you know why I'm saying this. Be prepared for Bitcoin to traverse back to the prior level of resistance. Just be prepared for it. If you're not prepared for it, you're not really trading Bitcoin. Okay, so we would look forward to additional volatility. We look forward to additional positive price action always, but definitely prepared. And I just have to tell you, this specific red line hit, if you guys remember that, I went through this line so many times. It was so nice to see that on the daily chart. You now have that on the daily chart. We just own that line. Very, very nicely done in terms of the specific formation. I'll show you that 10,000 mark, just under $30,000 mark, and the hitch, bam, right there, boom, right there on the top threshold of that red line. Very, very nicely done. So as you prepare for, I'd say, the volatility of Bitcoin, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? It's going to do both, guys. But in terms of the reversal feature, we have our threshold in terms of the breakout requirements for that overall ascending triangle. The price is going to tell us the pattern it wants to break out of, okay, the extent to which it will conform. Let me tell you this 100 moving average is directly in play now. It has not been thus far. We are up and over. We have experienced price up and over. We have the next hurdle is the 200 moving average on the daily. The 200 moving average is the 45,722. So nice to see both of those levels immediately in play. And I'll tell you, on the candle, which you've come very close to that 200. We have previously tested the 100. We've now really pushed into the 100. Nice to see. I would anticipate the next threshold barrier to be, in addition to conquering this flat top resistance on the ascending triangle, is going to be, and that flat top resistance on the ascending triangle, you understand, we just went through that. The next threshold is going to be that 200 moving average, with the overall measured amplitude move to be, let's just look at this, guys. I'm going to say securely to that 50% extension to the 54,359. That's the extension measured from the preceding low, just under 30,000. This is on the actual lines on the daily chart. Okay, they've been very accurate. We just had the hit exactly on the 23. Again, exactly on that first level of extension, right? So the extension measured from the low to the high on the lines, okay, 67,000, about 67.5 to 69. You can say 67.5 to 69, down to this low of the 35,281. So be prepared to operate in this specific zone. If it busts through tonight, we will be in the back and be excited and be trading. I promise you that. But I just want you to be aware of the fact that we're pushing up against a new line of resistance in the market, right? So if you guys would make sure that your desktops are updated with this new specific, this specific new cross trend line. It's part of what I do. I want to make sure you guys are better prepared than any other group. I take pride in that as part of what we do here at Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. So make sure that you have this line etched out clearly. Make sure that you're able to participate in the market. You're not so overexposed here that this would be essentially a liquidation or even a bad day, month. Guys, we don't want a bad anything around here. We want you to beat the market. So be prepared for lower levels. Be prepared for this bottom line formation too. And let's be prepared. Let's see the bulls get up and go. Looks like they're not surrendering this line of resistance. Going to be looking for patterning. And in line with that patterning, I always say, make sure you buy at support, sell at resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets. This is London with Crypto Kingdom and Bitcoin Spike. We'll be coming to you tonight with a live stream. Thanks so much for your time. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.